really need my improv troupe in a moment like this.
Sound when I ever make a sound.
And fall in a forest. Who's our king? Shawn Mendes.
People might be mad if you kill Ed
killed Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran.
And yeah, I did buy a blouse when the vine got cut down.
The stepmother pushed her
No,
down.
Diana pushed the stepmother down the stairs. Weirdly, this all could have been avoided if England wasn't obsessed with colonizing Ireland.
Historians.
I'm Carley.
And I'm Blair.
And this is the comedy podcast where we talk about history and our girls.
And I just want to say to any of the haters out there, it's girls first, history second. That's why the name goes girl historian, not historian girl.
Well, this is the thing. You know that our audience is growing when people get mad at things being incorrect.
Yeah.
And it's like, babe, that's the podcast.
And we want to say again, we do a lot of research for these. We're not dilly-dallying.
It's just that we love to talk.
We love to talk. We love to say anything.
There was like an incorrect Margaret Atwood fact in the last
Margaret
episode.
Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher quote. See, already there. And I was like, it made me laugh when people were like, you can't do this in a history podcast. And I was like, where were you episode 1 where we created a character on the Titanic that basically doesn't exist?
And the Margaret Thatcher thing wasn't even like fully incorrect. It was just like a kind of pop culture version of the story where like she put air into food, but she didn't invent soft serve.
Yes.
But she did invent soft serve as we know it.
Yes.
Because before soft serve was a different thing. You can read, there's a whole
thing
about it that you can read. But yeah, so if you're into a history podcast that's like there's mostly talking and some history, then you're in the right place.
Yes, if you want real kind of mainly facts over figures, all that, there's other stuff for you.
There's other stuff. There's
but
amazing
we are girls first historians.
Amazing universities that you can attend.
Yes.
And amazing TED Talks you can watch.
Yeah, there's got to be lectures online,
I feel like we're waiting for us to TED Talk.
Yeah.
I think I probably have a good one.
History teaches us everything.
And we're creating historical documents right now in this podcast. And today we're so excited because we're starting our first mini-series in summer school, which is why if you're on a visual medium, we're all dressed up.
Yeah, with nowhere to go.
We're in crowns.
Yeah, we're wearing crowns.
Because we're doing, drum roll,
Lady Diana
Spencer,
Princess of Wales,
aka Princess Diana, aka the People's Princess, aka Carley Thorne reincarnated.
Yes, we need to talk about this. So I got headshots taken and the photographer posted photos. So people who don't really know me were seeing them and people were like, it's Lady Diana Spencer.
It's Lady Diana.
And I don't really see it that much, but I will take it.
Well, I think it's because you are a people's princess in a way.
Thank you.
I think you are a people's princess.
Thank you.
Due to factors about you.
Okay.
Such as being princess-like, being a person,
Thank you.
Being a girl, being for the people.
Definitely.
I think you're for the girls.
I'm definitely for the girls.
And I think you do kind of look like her in the blonde hair.
Big eyes.
In the face, in the eyes.
I keep doing this. After that, I keep pretending to be Princess Diana at home. Where I put my chin down and look up through my eyelashes and I'm like,
hello, subjects.
Well, I don't know.
Who plays her on The Crown?
Emma Corrin slays.
Huge.
They are awesome.
Okay, amazing.
I've only seen Diana's season of The Crown.
I couldn't really get through The Crown, but I'm like, is it weird if I just go and watch the Diana season?
It's made to be contained. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's like what I respect about British TV is they're always like, you might just be tuning in once, and that's powerful.
Yeah. How was your week, Blair?
My week was honestly like better now. I was like doing that better now that we're here. I honestly do.
The podcast makes me feel sane.
The podcast makes me feel sane.
It's the same thing as therapy in that I know I'll just yap for a bit.
Yeah. And then feel better.
I'll feel released.
Yeah.
And then we usually hang out afterwards and we'll do something fun.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
kind of a court-mandated friendship, not podcast.
Yes. Because it's true when you do run a small business like we're small business owners now. You do have to separate and not do that all the time.
You can't just be a CEO.
You can't just be a CEO.
You've got to be a she.
Sometimes you just got to be a she.
Exactly.
Who goes, no, my week was like, I was feeling really stressed and then I got my period and I was like, it was one of those moments that like, thank God I was just PMSing.
I know. That's really good because sometimes getting your period really makes you feel mad. Like you feel like you've gone insane and it doesn't really make any sense.
Absolutely.
So when you get it, you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I haven't gone insane.
Yeah. Without giving away too many details, there's a large event happening at my work right now that just traditionally does not leave me in the best headspace.
Yes.
And listeners, you're smart. You can put 2 and 2 together. I think me trying to hide where I work is a thinly veiled.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing that I try to hide where I work.
I think you do well enough, actually, because I think it's not a visual medium. I think if you vlogged, you'd be done.
I'd be done.
But I think the only people that would know it are people who would already know it and just make a connection that you work there.
Yes.
Which is actually not that bad.
And if you know, honestly, like, great. That's great. Come say hi, please. But there's a large event that's happening at my work that doesn't traditionally put me in the best headspace. And I think it's going to be better this year. But I think I was kind of like hoarding this kind of like fear of what it was like for the last 2 years to be at this event at my workplace.
Yeah.
Because my work is usually a really safe space for me. And this event makes it
a not safe space.
A
dangerous space.
Dangerous. Honestly, straight up dangerous.
A dangerous space.
I've had danger happen to me at this event many times.
Yeah, and emotional danger and physical danger.
And physical danger, honestly. I almost ate shit yesterday because they put in a bunch of new chords.
Oh, no.
Oh, and there's nothing like a new chord showing up when you're not expecting it.
To have you slip on a banana peel like you're a vaudevillian actor.
Exactly. I'm like, well, I'm going to do a foolish physical comedy act now.
No, I'm doing a prop fall.
I'm doing a prop fall.
Admitting you need money is a really dark thing too. I think
it's so
like
dark.
Doing something exclusively for money, it's a headspace that's not great to be in.
No, it's not
where
great.
You're like, well, I need the money, so I'm gonna do it. Like, it's not fun.
Well, this is the thing where it's like all year I was sort of like, I'm not gonna work this event. I'm just gonna leave myself away from it because like I am in a position where like I feel very privileged, but I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I now just have realized it's a good way to make a lot of money really fast because I want to do fun things.
Yes.
And honestly, I think it's like not going to be that bad. But I just feel like
it's a
there's
monster in your head too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even if it isn't that bad, you're thinking about it.
Yeah, you're like, oh. But no, it is dark to admit you need money.
It's
and
not
usually
fun.
I feel like I do really like my job. So like I'm always very like usually very grateful that
So
it
feels like it's farther to fall.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Because you're so used to enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I'm so used to enjoying myself and feeling grateful and like really like striving in the community. And then like when something like this happens, I'm like, well, I'm just a sheep.
Great.
I'm just a sheep.
I love capitalism.
And I was telling Carley this earlier, but like truly my worst fear was someone came true when I was working a shift yesterday and someone came up to me and was just like, you work here? And I was like, yeah, like it's my work. I love it. And they were like, wow, like I just feel like you're having so much success. I'm surprised you still need to work a job like this. And
Which is fucking
like,
crazy
don't
to say.
Say my fear
insane.
to me.
That's insane.
And also don't insult my job to my face. You know what I mean?
No, it's so insane. And I was saying this when you told me the first time, but like it is so fucking tacky to me to in any way talk down to service workers where it's like, bro, if every barista stops working, the world doesn't go round.
That's the thing. The coffee ends.
Exactly. Coffee's
we learned that
over.
at COVID. Why we're Starbucks workers, essential workers.
Yes.
Because we need that more than we need someone doing
than an actor.
Spreadsheets.
I'm sorry.
Than an actor, literally.
Like, yeah, if servers stop working, restaurants are done, babe.
Yeah, restaurants
They're not
are done.
working.
You're not
like,
going to a restaurant anymore.
It's just such a strange viewpoint because it feels like we're at such a weird point of capitalism that denotes that you have to feel incredibly passionate about your job. And you have to feel as though like it has to make you a lot of money to be worth it.
Yes.
It has to be good for the world.
Yes.
And it has to be like passionate and creative as opposed to being like, bro, bring it back to the 50s. Only this way, no other ways.
Just a little bit.
But like people just used to be like, yeah, I work at gas stations because I fucking love cars. And I have to have a job to live because we picked capitalism for some fucking reason.
Literally.
So I'm going to work at the gas station. Whereas now it's like, if you like cars, it'd be like, I hope that you're trying to become an F1 influencer.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I hope that you're trying to be, no, this whole influencer thing.
No.
This is my like beef with influencer culture where it's
and
just
speak
like,
on it.
Well, and speak on it because like literally when you are just kind of like looking for a thing that you can be an influencer of, that's already we've dropped off as an audience. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much inside baseball people want to hear about the influencer space, but like,
no, please.
Babe, the bubble is popping. There was a mass influx during the pandemic and then afterwards as well. And like, you know how people are always like, you know, influencers make a crazy amount of money. And like they do for what they do, which is nothing. And I'll say that as somebody who's a content creator, the amount of work is not equal to the amount of money you may. There's way more important things to be doing with your time. Like, and I only say that because it's the same thing as actors where people have a tendency to make it self-important.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if we just all agree, it's like, for some reason, my brain is melted and I need attention to survive. And it's fun and I don't like working. So I like to do the job that I do the least work. Like, the amount of sponsorships has like drastically dipped off. There's like a couple of group chats that I'm in with like a lot of different influencers, like really high up, and people are like, yeah, like the ad system is fucked. It's going to be the .com bubble. Like it's going to be like the stock market crash, but for influencers. And that's not that bad. I've been reading a book about stocks because I've been
because you've been in your stocks era.
I've been taking control of my financial destiny. And I learned that like
landlord era. Carley.
Yes, I am a slumlord. Welcome to the podcast. No, obviously not. But I was learning that like these stock markets are a problem because people sold, like, you know what I mean? Like as with every economic collapse, there's some people who get really fucked up by it, but eventually it ends. Like it's not going to like destroy, influencers aren't going to end their lives. It's just like whatever. Yeah. But like we're really going to see like for the first time, I think in this industry, it's going to like really fuck some people over.
Absolutely.
And whenever you see, like whenever I see people who are like traveling every other week or have like an apartment in New York and they have an apartment in LA or they've like bought a house or whatever, I'm like, bro, you cannot make that mortgage in 8 years. Like, what are you doing?
No, it's nuts.
Every influencer should be living like a normal person. Like, it's really stupid.
Well, this is like how people get like, it's lifestyle creep, right?
Yes, it's fucking lifestyle creep.
Because I even remember like the day that I upgraded my lip balm, it was such like, and
it stuck with you.
But the day I bought my Laneige lip sleeping mask, I was like, this
okay,
is lifestyle
so
creep because I can never go back.
Yes.
I can never go back.
That's true.
But a lot of bubbles are popping right now. It just seems like jobs are kind of ceasing to exist on the floor. Like I always think like neither of my parents' jobs still exist.
That's fucked.
Which is crazy.
That's insane.
And to be fair, they had kind of like, I don't really even understand what either of them did.
Yeah.
But
that's still crazy.
I know it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm trying to be optimistic. Obviously, the vine on my house got cut down yesterday, so it feels like world is bad. We had this beautiful vine that grew from my neighbor's house. It's a grape. They have massive grape plants, and it grew out of their yard onto our house over top of my window. So my window was completely covered by beautiful leaves.
That's so nice.
And my landlord had a brain aneurysm yesterday and chopped it down. And I was home the whole day.
Nightmare.
I left for literally 45 minutes and I came back and it was gone.
They cut the vine then?
It was like horrific.
That's
like,
horrible.
and I'm like, it's
at
one
least
of
you
those
didn't have
things.
to witness the execution.
Well, if I was witnessing the execution, I would have gone out and told him to stop.
Oh yeah,
that's why I'm upset.
That's true.
Because I would have been like, whoa.
Like I left for 5 minutes.
Yes,
I left for no time at all, and you cut down the damn fine.
And it's so like it's one of those things that I know is fine in the grand scheme of life. Like it's not that bad to lose my vine. But like I wept. Like I'm also my period. If you're watching on video, you can see that I have a hot water bottle shoved into the front of my pants. Like I wept like somebody had died. Like I just kept going over and over again.
So sad.
Reese was with me and I was just like, I just don't know what to do. Because I feel good when I can fix things.
Yeah.
I hate feeling
like you're not in control.
Yes. And it was so beautiful. And it's just like a manifestation of a really dark viewpoint of being like, yeah, your house should probably be as stark and white and devoid of beautiful nature as possible.
No.
I'm gonna get 2 big raised planters and I'm gonna put some growing. I'm gonna grow
That's
some.
Lovely.
But it was rough.
No,
and that's to say, I'm
like
just
that,
like, it feels, I've been feeling pessimistic. I'm happy we're going to go out with our improv troupe tonight. I really need to, which
just
is a dark sentence, but like,
I really need my improv troupe in a moment like this.
Improv troupe in a moment like this. I need my found family.
My found family. It kind of is. I'm kind of obsessed with our improv troupe.
I love everyone in it. I posted that photo of all of us on my grid, minus Sachin, who we also love, friend of the pod.
But you did post a singular
I did because I wanted
Sachin.
him to be included.
Yeah, you had to.
When I was like 16, I would follow like people online and they'd be in their 20s and I'd be like, what an iconic friend group. Okay, a child got murdered outside.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I love having, I'm like, oh my God, what an iconic group of people.
Yeah.
Every single one of our friends are so hot.
I know. And
it's kind of fucking crazy.
To be honest, like our improv troupe, I'm truly like, it's so rare for me not to be at least kind of beefing one person when a group like that happens.
Definitely.
So I just remember like every time I do like a musical in university, I'd like have like
there's a villain
beef.
No, I know what you mean.
Outright beef. Like Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham yelling at each other on stage beef with someone. I remember I stormed out of my cabaret fitting because this girl because
no.
they didn't even try to get me a costume that was like, and
That's
like they
awful.
didn't even
No,
give a
that's
shit.
aggravating.
And I get it, I was Fraulein Schneider, so I wasn't as fun as the other characters.
But you need a costume, girl.
And they bought me something in like bright orange, and I was just like, and so the director was like, "Why is it bright orange?" And I was like, "I don't know." They also bought me shoes in like straight up the wrong size, and also like I don't know why people have always had like. People have a problem dressing plus size people. We know this.
Yes.
But people will often just kind of like, it's like they've never seen my body.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think I could go into it, but like people will always absolutely like overshoot my midsection and get me things that are for someone who has a waist twice the size of mine, but with stick thin arms. This has been an ongoing problem whenever someone's tried to dress me. And I don't know what it is. It's really, really, really bizarre.
It is a thing of like, I think that because of just like societal fat phobia, there's a lot of people that are like, I just won't engage with the body.
Yeah.
Somebody who's like a sample size or whatever, like
Yeah.
they will look at your body and be like, got it.
Got it.
That's what you look like.
But the girl who was dressing me, get this, was literally bigger than me.
That's tough.
Because I'm like a 14, 16. She was like a 20, 22.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't understand.
Society
Like,
fucks us all.
This is fat on fat violence now.
We need to be sisters.
And so she bought me this god-awful orange thing.
Orange is really bad.
Orange was rude. And I'm also like, this
You
is
have red
Germany
hair.
in the 30s. Like, let's be so real. Why am I in bright orange right now? And so I said, I was like, well, like maybe we could dye it, you know, like we could get some
Please.
fabric dye. And she just went like, yeah, no, we're not dyeing it. And I was like, why would you laugh at me? Why would you laugh when you have not tried to get me a costume in any way, shape, or form? And she was like, oh, well, just like people don't dye clothes. I was like, I've dyed clothes.
What do you mean
You
people
clearly don't know what you're doing.
What do you mean people don't dye clothes?
Yeah, and it was also like at 8:00 in the morning, and I said like, you just wasted my time and showed me that you cannot do anything.
Yeah.
And she like tried to eat crow later, and I was like, no, like that was so disrespectful.
That's the issue with stuff like this of like people make mistakes and whatever, but like the second that you're acting disrespectful, then it's like, I don't want to do this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you were just sort of like, hey, like, yeah, we kind of just didn't have enough time to like get you a costume or something because we were looking for lingerie for 7 other women and men.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but like, don't lie and disrespect me. And
Yes.
also don't make me do anything before 10 a.m. if it's not worth it.
No, that's insane.
Like, give me a break.
No. And I really hate, that's my biggest pet peeve of all time,
Being disrespected?
is people wasting my time.
Oh my God. No, don't waste my time.
Can't. It's like my villain origin story. And I waste other people's time. I get it. Like people are probably listening to this and being like, interesting. 15 minutes late to everything Min. But I really hate when like we're doing something, like we're working, not with us because we're friends, so it's fine. But if I'm like doing like somebody's short film or something and they're like, should we get lunch? I'm like, bro, I have friends. I'm here to work. Like, I don't want to hang out.
I'm here to make this the best short film that
God's ever fucking seen.
that the Girls on Film Short Film Festival has ever seen.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
no.
fine. So all that's to say, the Vine is heartbreaking.
I'm
but
really sorry.
Okay.
No, when you told me the Vine thing, I was like quite sad.
Yeah. I've contacted somebody on Facebook Marketplace who creates like raised beds, like flower beds.
Oh, beautiful.
So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to plant climbers under and have them under my window so they can start climbing up.
That's so nice.
Because I have to be active.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not active in this,
You'll die.
I'll die. Because it's
You'll
just
die.
so
You'll pass
ugly now.
away.
Because this has been like the wettest summer in recorded history.
I feel like this
So
is
it's
like the
so
summer.
gray.
The weather's not giving right now.
No, and it's tough because last summer the weather was giving, but there was forest fire smoke in the air that was killing us
Yeah.
all slowly and making us depressed.
It was
so
orange
this summer,
last
I
summer.
was like, fuck yes, let's go. But it's so overcast, so it's tough to like look out my window and just see gray. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. I'm trying to think of what else I've done in my life that's positive.
Positive things.
So I was on a really good vibe until then too. Like I was really just
No.
like in my good mood. It will be fine. It happened yesterday, so the wound is fresh.
Yeah.
Like I feel genuinely upset about this.
No,
Let's
and you
be
have a right
clear.
to.
Let's be clear.
And anything that's a metaphor like that is like
it's
is
tough.
double as bad.
It's
because it's
tough,
like I'm
yes.
dealing with the actual repercussions of the real things happening, and then also like the metaphor that this is that we hate nature
yeah.
and we love a gray scale apartment.
And like my windowsill is too wide to put a window box in, and my house is brick, and drilling into brick is tough.
yeah.
So it's just gonna be a moment, and it's fine. But it's like when we moved in, it wasn't there, and it's slowly grown over the course of 3 years.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
It's a metaphor, dude.
It's a metaphor, you
sucks.
see.
It's a
You put the
metaphor. You put
killing
the
thing-
killing thing in your mouth, but you don't give it the power to kill you.
people. Somebody I know went to
kill people.
VidCon. Somebody I know went to VidCon this weekend. They posted a picture with John Green, and I was like, we're getting John Green on the podcast.
We need to just email him.
I know someone who I think has his contact.
This is what I'm
I have
saying.
to reach out. I just hate to reach out.
Because you have to reach out because you have more clout than me, especially with John Green. You have direct, John Green knows who you are probably.
Yeah, because of Uber and Clonk. Yeah, maybe I should just pop on the Uber and Clonk TikTok, DM him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why not?
I know.
Nothing
He's
to
off
lose.
the internet for a month.
I'm
up to date on my Vlog Brothers fucking videos.
I'm not. I'm behind on YouTube in general right now because I go in and out a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to Newfoundland soon, which I'm really excited
so
for. I've never
exciting.
been to the East Coast.
Oh my the East Coast.
I've got the accent.
the accent
down.
already. That's so
I've got
exciting,
the
bro.
accent
I love
down.
the East Coast.
So they talk in the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like they're from Australia. I'm excited about that.
It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out. Maybe we'll remote record the podcast, and
that's fun.
I'll do a verbal tour of
Well,
Newfoundland.
I'm going to the cottage the very end of this month on a Wednesday, so either we can record earlier or
Gorgeous.
do that.
I can come to the freaking cottage. Didn't get an invite. Matt McCready.
First last. It is one of those things that I'll say is truly just offensive to single people in that it's a couple's cottage.
No, 100%.
It's actually exclusionary, and some might say xenophobic.
It's
to singles.
To singles. There's nothing like being in a group of couples being the only single person.
Yeah.
It's like, give me at least one other single person or someone that I'm flirting with.
Ooh,
you know what I
that's
mean?
powerful. Yeah.
Where it's like, to do that, it's sad. It's like it's a sad little thing.
Yes. It's a sad little thing.
It's a sad little thing.
Yeah. But I'm excited for things to look up.
I know.
I'm building my
Me
sound
too.
system, which is also very fun.
Oh, that's really,
I've
been
put a wire
really-
in some. It works now. That preamp I got. I literally have been like truly building like a turntable and sound system.
That's how you gotta
as
do
you
it, though.
And I was actually recording at your house, but if you were coming to my place today, I want you to look at it because I feel like you can fix it.
Probably.
I think I put a wire in somewhere wrong because it's just like when I turn it up, it's like it buzzes.
Oh, it's probably your grounding cable.
Okay.
I'll take a look at it.
So that's been fun. It's been fun. I've been in my hobbies era. I told you. I've
that's
been loving
beautiful.
having hobbies, and it's great. And people will comment sometimes being like, you have a lot of free time. And I'm like, no, I make free time. Like, I enjoy my life.
Yeah. Love to enjoy my life.
My raspberry bushes in the backyard are blooming, so I have approximately 12 raspberries every single
amazing.
day. They're delicious.
That's huge. I love raspberries. I think that's kind of the problem I'm running into is that I don't have a lot of free time right now, and I think it's getting to me.
Yeah.
But I can see the end of it.
Yes.
Because I'll be with the pod. The pod's been a lot more admin heavy than usual.
But we're getting there.
But we're getting to, I think, a really nice place
Yes.
with it. So like once I can kind of send it off into the vibe, I'll feel a lot better.
Yes.
And so
And it'll feel good when we're out of this kind of just corner of our lives because there's so much drama.
yeah.
But we can't talk about it.
Yeah, I'm excited to one day.
Yeah, one day we can. But
Yeah, when we get the HBO doc.
exactly. Because I love to just talk about the drama of my life on this podcast. It's truly my favorite thing to do.
It's fun. It's one of the best things about having a podcast is that like, it's so funny because we posted a clip that went viral and I said that I hated whipped cream cheese. And for the past week, I've been getting absolutely attacked by the Philadelphia cream cheese mafia.
Why are they showing out in droves?
In droves for
I
whipped
could
cream
not believe
cheese.
it.
It's crazy. And I'm just like, I've said wild stuff on this podcast. Way wilder than I hate whipped cream cheese. Which, again, I stand by. You're not changing my opinion on whipped cream cheese.
No.
It's stupid. You're like, it's easier to spread. Have you
Somebody
seen
did
cream
say,
cheese?
and I will say, obviously.
Did I get owned?
No, no, it's not owned. It's so funny that like this podcast is defined by two moments in which clips gone viral, and we've been called ableist twice. And like, I just want to say, like, if we actually do ableism, I fucking will own that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Saying Anne of Green Gables is annoying
Is not
ableist.
And saying that we hate whipped cream cheese is
It's
not
not ableist
ableist.
because somebody said it's easier to spread, and I'm like, yeah, Blair isn't saying it shouldn't exist for those with motor problems.
Yeah.
You're not saying it shouldn't exist. You're saying you don't like it.
I'm saying I don't like whipped cream cheese,
Yes.
and I feel like I'm getting ripped off when I buy it.
Yeah, and also I'm listening to the audiobook right now of Anne of Green Gables, and let me just say, the point is she's annoying.
No, the point is she's
That's the bit.
precocious.
That's
That's
the
like the
whole bit.
number one character trait of Anne of Green Gables.
And it's
is
not
she's
like I was like,
precocious.
oh, she has sensory issues and that's why she's annoying. Like I didn't say autistic traits.
Her special interest is Gables. This is the thing.
And making them green.
And them being green. She
I
loves
learned
green,
what
she loves
Gables were when we were in Salem, and I was like, it's the point of a house? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Anne of Green Gables, because the Gables are green.
Yeah, it made sense after. but still. Woof.
She lives in PEI. I won't be going to PEI.
I love PEI.
This is why
The vine got cut down, and I was like, I'm moving.
I'm moving to PEI.
I'm moving out east. I can't do it. I gotta get out of nature.
I feel that a lot. I've always said I'm real, like, I want to be in the city. I want to be in the country.
Yeah, no in between.
No in between.
No, I saw
the extremes.
A Quiet Place day 1 last night.
How was that?
Good. Haven't seen the first or the second. So
there's a second?
Yes.
This is the third Quiet Place?
The third.
How long are they going to be quiet for?
Well, this is a prequel.
What?
Yeah, this is a prequel.
So wait, they were quiet before they had to be quiet for the first time?
Well, the first one's dropping you in
hate
10
this
years.
series.
It's so funny. Me and my sister kept being like, from the beautiful mind of John Krasinski.
And you know he's got a beautiful mind.
Beautiful mind.
That's an ableist movie.
Yeah. No, it's not, because, spoiler alert, in the first one I've learned, she defeats the fucking monsters by using her hearing aid.
Awesome.
So in the first movie,
I have seen the first one. I can't remember it.
It drops you in 10 years after these fucking aliens who can only hear. They can't see are in there.
Baby, and she had to be quiet.
Yes. So it's 10 years into it happening already. The first one is the first day it happened, and it's in New York. And just watching like a disaster movie in a city is so scary, because you're like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, this probably is how it's going to go down.
Like, okay, they realize the monsters can't swim, so they're trying to get everyone to boats.
Okay.
And then they're like, okay, everybody from this area, the monsters are now like, they're here to be really quiet, but everyone walk to the dock. So it's just like a New York City street filled with like so many people walking. But then like one person has like a squeaky wheel on their rolly suitcase. And it's like, and somebody's like, and then the monsters obviously come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know why this is so aggravating to watch? Because this is what it would fucking be.
No, it would
I'd
be.
be like, if you know the wheel fucking squeaks.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you bringing it?
I'd be coughing because I'd be hitting my vape like there's no tomorrow. And I'd be get us all killed. But no, I'm like, I need my strawberry ice. I was listening to Too Far with Robbie Hoffman and Rachel Carley.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite podcasts, even though it gives me an active panic attack. I love it. And Robbie Hoffman just vapes directly into the mic. And I was like, imagine if I start doing that. I just vape directly into the mic.
Does it make a sound?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
I even
you can
make
hear
a sound? It's like, I never made a sound. Would I ever make a sound?
And falling in a forest and there's nobody around. Oh. No, it does make a sound. And you kind of think that like, kind of sounds like a big exhausted sigh, but it's just vape. It's just a vape. Someone called me out recently because I was watching a show and I kept doing, and that was a hard moment.
But that feels really good. Everybody, let's collectively do a big kind of sigh breathe out.
Okay, ready? That does feel
like that feels really good, right?
It feels really good. One thing I will say about A Quiet Place is I'll always laugh when they did A Quiet Place and then they released that movie like Bird Box,
right?
Bird Box.
Where Sandra Bullock has to tie her little eyes shut. Yeah.
And I was like, so this is just the
what movies are now
place, like so we get the Quiet Place and then slowed up
the blind place, the dark place,
the dark place. Like, what the hell was that? And they couldn't look at the birds or something. I didn't watch it.
I know. I didn't watch it either. The next book of my like reading, one of the things I want to watch is I want to watch The Watchers. I want to read The Watchers, which is the book that M. Night Shyamalan's daughter's first movie is about, starring Dakota Fanning or Elle Fanning.
Oh, yes.
Which one is
Elle Fanning?
It's Elle. Okay, I get them mixed up even though I love them both.
That's so fair.
And it's like basically like these people get like stranded and they're in a box where people come and watch them or whatever. But the trailer, it's coming out in like fall, and I was like, I can't wait for that. I gotta read this. Somebody told John Krasinski that the monsters in The Quiet Place were scary, and they lied to him. And those monsters were on screen so much, and I was like, no, it's way weirder if you can't see. And in the first movie, they don't really show it, and then they like reveal it or whatever. It looks like a fucking blooming onion Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Like,
that's awesome.
It's not scary, but like if you don't really show them, then we'll imagine things that are scarier.
We can really tell that like we're in an era where we're kind of scared of plants based on the monsters that are coming out. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I have to go see A Violent Nature. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, A Violent Nature, it's a horror film. It's Canadian. Friend of the pod, Charlotte Cregan's in it.
Love.
And it's a slasher film. It's like from the point of view, like a video game point of view of the killer going around and killing these like people at a campsite. But it got described to me, and Charlotte, I don't know if she listens to the pod, but she told me about how she died in it like a few months back, and I forgot. And I think I was like drunk at the time. And she's also like a very soft-spoken, like sweet girl. And so I don't think I got. And then someone, like a man, told me, well, her brother told me how other friend of the pod, Jack Regan, just gonna name them all.
Yeah.
He told me how she died in it, and it's actually horrifying.
Yeah, I would love to book a horror movie. Our friend Sam Rolston booked a horror movie where he calls the killer, because it's like a kind of Friday the 13th kind of spoof. I guess not even a spoof. It's like just fully stealing that idea, basically.
It just is. It's Friday the 12th.
Exactly.
Thursday the 12th.
And he's like, that guy used to go to this summer camp and they calls him the R slur, so he's dying. And then the killer puts a saw through his head. But then he had to like get a dummy made of him with a saw through his head, which would be so weird.
Awesome.
Yes. Should we talk about Princess Diana? Speaking of saws through the head.
Speaking of saws through the head.
No, that's not what happens. I'm going to put my little crown on.
Yeah. Let's talk about Diana.
Okay, Princess Diana. So we're doing this over the course of 3 or 4 episodes. Originally, we're going to do 1 episode pre-Charles, just her life up into her engagement, which is what we're doing today. Then we're going to do her like royal tenure when she was Princess of Wales.
When she was princess.
And then post-divorce is the third one. But I think we should also do one where we watch Diana the musical.
Oh my God. I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
Huge.
So I think that's probably what we should do.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great. All that's to say, this week we're going to be walking you through Diana pre-engagement.
I can't wait. I'm realizing I was saying this off cam, but I actually don't really know a ton about her. So I'm really excited to learn something new.
I mean, I know about her in the sense that like a lot of Canadian women, mothers, in the same way that I would imagine a lot of British mothers really latched onto her as an icon.
Yeah, I want to call my mom on the podcast to get her like hour by hour account of the day that Diana passed. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure that she's got some tea.
Yeah, it's 9/11 for
It's 9/11 for white women in their 30s in 1997. Like
nothing
other than 9/11 was I guess.
A second plane has hit the white women who were mothers in their 30s.
It's crazy that mothers in their 30s got 9/11 twice.
It's insane. So I'm going to walk you through it.
I'm so excited.
It's kind of yucky.
Oh.
It's not yucky. It's fine.
Well, it's the monarchy.
It's the monarchy, so
we got an inherent
it's bad
situation.
And let's do a big ass blanket statement.
We're not pro monarchy.
No.
I've said this before, but like growing up, the monarchy were my Kardashians.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like I know a lot about them, and I do think that like they have an important place in culture, but in the way that like you love to hate them, you know.
I don't think they should exist.
No.
But I also have I have an understanding for them in the sense that like whenever Charles acts foolish, I'm like, well, yeah, he was born.
And that was the first mistake.
Yeah, and they were like, this is going to be your job, by the way. And
your job is to be monarch.
Your job is in your 70s. You get cancer immediately. Like, why would he be normal? Do you know what I mean? Because he was also abused at that King's school they all went to. Like
they went to King's school?
Yeah, so the reason why like Harry and William went to like not regular school, like millionaire school, but not school for kings and heirs, was because Charles had such a bad time at this like King's school. He was like abused.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea.
And Charles is a really weird figure. Well, I feel like we'll get into it more during like the actual marriage of it all. In that he is like a bad person.
For sure.
But every once in a while, you're like, well, he's right. Do you know what I mean?
He's kind of got a point.
Where it's like, he is like an environmentalist. Like, there's weird moments. And I'm going to get into the Camilla and Charles of it all a bit today.
Okay.
And my number one, my most unpopular opinion is that if Camilla was hot,
we would like her more.
Yeah, no one would care.
Yeah, no one would care.
If it would be like the star-crossed lovers, whatever. If it was if the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
And it was like Diana. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
was having the affair.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh my God, it's star-crossed lovers. They were kept apart by the monarchy.
And instead,
so I think she gets shafted.
She does get shafted. Also because she's a commoner.
Yep, she is. We'll get into that because she's a commoner. Like, you know what I mean? Like she still met the king and he was in his circle. So like,
which is crazy.
So it's like the weird like British system where it's like you don't have aristocratic blood, but you're still incredibly wealthy. They said like royal or like aristocratic blood.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It could be the gentry as well. It could just be like the base level fucking
I have no idea.
Word for it. I don't know. But it is really strange because we just like don't have that really in North America in any form of like.
And thank God.
I know.
Can you imagine if we had a king? I mean, I guess we do have a king, but like not a real king. Who's our king? Shawn Mendes, King of Canada.
Wearing out your stitches.
Yesterday, Shivers by Ed Sheeran started playing at my work. And my bar manager was there and he was really mad that he had to be there because, again, I kind of distaste this event that's going on. He hates it with every fiber of his being. So he sat there scowling all day. And he was like...
No, that was Gazelle who showed me that on her Shazam app in her history, she had... Shazam Shiver by Ed Sheeran literally 17 times in a row at 3 a.m. one night.
Just needed to know what the song was.
Yeah.
But Shivers by Ed Sheeran was playing. He was like, can you Shazam this? And I Shazammed it. And he was like, I'm going to kill whoever made this song. And then I just walked away. I was like, oh my God, you're a bad place. He was mad.
That's right. Water went into my eyes. Like it got sucked up into my sinuses.
Yeah. It's like,
wow.
Kill
I
whoever
really
made
did
this
not
song.
think that's what he was going to say.
Then he was like, do you think people would be mad if I killed whoever made this song? He was also drunk.
Ed Sheeran. Yeah, I think people might be mad if you kill Ed
killed
Sheeran. I think that might be bad.
Yeah, he was pissed off. He was just doing shots in the back and getting drunker and more angry. Like every 15 minutes, he'd come back out more drunk and more angry.
That's kind of iconic.
No, he's kind of an iconic figure in a huge way.
Yes.
Of my workplace because he hates being there.
And that's kind of a good energy to have at a workplace, honestly.
He kind of hates doing anything or being anywhere.
And
it's really,
him and
it's
I have that in
respectable.
common.
Yeah. It's a really respectable trait. He just likes to make collages.
Okay, shall we do this?
Yeah, let's freaking go.
So she was born on July 1st, 1961. Okay, my sister's birthday, obviously.
So I didn't realize that your mother, and your sister are all cancers.
I know, my dad is
That's
really...
Yeah, your poor father.
I know.
No wonder he's a capitalist.
I know.
You guys are all emotional spending.
I know. Exactly. You have to become you have to be a capitalist.
It's like, I gotta make some money for this damn family of cancer women.
I know, but you need to go shopping every time they have a bad feeling. And yeah, I did buy a blouse when the vine got cut down. Let's talk about it. So, she was born to Lord and Lady Althorpe, okay? And she has 3 older siblings, Sarah, Jane, and Charles, okay?
Cool.
I'll say her brother Charles if we're talking about that.
Okay.
Famously, British people, 7 names
Yeah, they got
in
7
total.
names. Diana even feels like it was a rarity.
Iconic. Yeah, definitely. For sure. I mean, look, Sarah, Jane, Charles, Diana?
Sarah Jane. My Sarah Jane.
What's that?
From Doctor Who.
Oh, I haven't seen Doctor Who.
Okay.
I kind of want to watch this recent one.
Doctor Who rocks.
The new season because it's gay.
It is gay.
And I like that.
And season before that was gay too.
Okay. I was talking a little bit about Jonathan Groff before because my Instagram For You page had showed me a Jonathan Groff daily Instagram account. And I was like, why am I scrolling through this? But because of Spring Awakening and then Hamilton and Frozen, and he was also in Looking on HBO, a show I really liked, and all these things. Like, I do feel attached to his career in a big way.
Oh, for sure.
I don't remember.
He was in an episode of Doctor Who and he made out with Ncuti
Yes,
Gatwa.
that's it. That's exactly it. That's it. You got me back. I really lost it there for a second.
My
I was
sister called me to tell me that. She was like, Jonathan Groff just made out with Ncuti Gatwa.
like, just so I know that you'll want to know this.
Yeah. And she was like, you should watch it. And I was like, I will. And she was like, you should watch it. And I still haven't. I'm behind.
Okay.
I'm behind on Doctor Who.
If I start this season, will it be hard to follow?
It's always hard to follow.
Okay.
It's just,
That's sci-fi.
yeah.
Okay.
You just gotta roll with it.
Okay.
You'll understand eventually.
Okay. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So her younger brother, John, died shortly after his birth.
Aww.
And this was when she was like 1 year old or whatever. And this placed stress on her marriage, on her marriage, on her parents' marriage.
Yeah, that would.
I watched 2 different documentaries about this.
Okay.
I watched Diana, Her Own Words.
Huge.
And I also just watched like a different one. I don't remember. If you look up Princess Diana
Diana,
documentaries.
not Her Own Words.
And it's really interesting. And I think it's good to watch them in tandem like this because it's her talking at the end of her life looking back. So like it's good to hear her own perspective, but also like obviously your memories and your experience is going to be
Colored.
yes. So it's interesting, like other people talking about her childhood being very happy, and she characterizes her childhood as being incredibly unhappy.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Her parents' divorce was really, really messy, and that really messed her up. And I think that was the source of a lot of the unhappiness in her life.
For sure.
Physical abuse and cheating were cited as the cause.
Oh, no.
She was 7, so it's already rough. There was like a custody battle. Originally, when her parents first separated, she lived with her mom, but then her dad won custody. And a lot of times when she would visit her mom when she was like 9, like staying the weekend or whatever, her mom would like weep and sob, being like, I don't want you guys to leave, which is like a lot to put on a 9-year-old. Like, it's just like tough. And she had said to her nanny later, basically being like, I'm only going to marry someone if I ever truly love them because I don't want to put someone through this.
Yeah.
And hey,
damn.
best laid plans. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Early on, they were Lord and Lady, right? Lord and Lady Althorpe. But then her father inherited the title of the Earl of Spencer. And he remarried like shortly after the separation. Or no, it wasn't shortly after. It was when Diana was 15. So her parents get divorced when she's 7. He remarries when she's 15. And he marries this woman literally named Rain Legs. Like it's Legges. but can't be not stated. That we have to talk about Rain Legs, obviously.
Oh my God.
And Diana called her like her wicked stepmother, called her a bully, pushed her down the stairs.
The stepmother pushed her
No,
down?
Diana pushed the stepmother down the
Okay,
stairs.
iconic.
Which I kind of love because of her death and who she is. Like, she really gets painted as this like gentle being.
Yeah.
But she also is kind of a menace, which obviously, if you know the podcast, you know I applaud.
Yeah, we love a menace.
We're obsessed with a menace.
Unmenaced women rarely make history.
Exactly. Unmenaced women would never push Rain Legs down the stairs.
That's asking for trouble with a name like that.
Exactly. So she grew up in Park House on Sandringham Estate, which is located in Norfolk, leased from the Queen after her father became an earl. Basically, like this big sprawling estate that's under the crown's care, whatever.
Okay.
But like there's the major estate that's quite large, and then there's a smaller estate, like a smaller house.
It's like in Bridgerton when they all go to the country.
Exactly. Like
Okay.
it's like a smaller house on the estate, but it's not a smaller house to us. Like let that be known because of how she is comparatively to the royal family. I think Diana sometimes gets painted as a normal girl, and I love Diana, but she's an aristocrat.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this is a house. Like our homes don't have names. There's no title to this apartment.
Well, it's the Palace.
Oh,
if you
sorry.
ever paid attention,
It's this palace.
it's actually the Palace
on the Ho Things estate.
on the Ho Things estate.
Yeah,
Lord and Lady of being down.
that's us. We're Lord and Lady of being down.
Oh my God. Yep.
So her and her siblings were raised by a revolving door of nannies. They're staying on this estate with their father, and they're mad at these nannies because they're basically like not her mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
And fair enough. There's enough reason there.
Totally. Diana would sneak into their rooms, take all their clothing, and throw it on the roof.
Dude, she's awesome.
She would lock them in rooms. So she had like one nanny for a long period of time, and that was because like her father was like, "We need a nanny." It's literally like in any movie about nannies, where it's like Nanny McPhee, where they're like, the children are nightmares. We need somebody who's going to stay here." Very much that. Okay. She was homeschooled till she was 9.
Okay.
And then went to 2 different all-girls boarding schools. The first one she went to was Hall School when she was 9.
Did it have any halls?
Yeah, it was lozenges exclusively. And then when she was 12, she went to West Heath Girls' School in Kent. Okay. So school was not really her thing. Mm-hmm. She was very an active kid. Like I almost wonder if she had like ADHD or something. Because a lot of, like she loved like dancing and being out in nature and
pushing people down the
stairs. Diving and swimming, like very active things. Didn't really like
that.
academic school. Okay. She would talk a lot out of turn and get in trouble for that. And she would also take food from the dining hall back to her room and get in trouble, which like is
That's crazy.
number one me. Like I would do that.
Also, like never understood like food
eat.
Rules like that.
I know. Like we need more.
Yeah, like we had rules like that at like in the dining hall at university, and I never understood it. I was
I'm like, I'm gonna take it back.
Yeah, I'm like,
no, I think I'm probably gonna take it back.
Yeah, it's a piece of toast.
I'm gonna walk with it. If I'm gonna
walk with it. Like I have places to be.
Yeah, it's strange. Also, just boarding schools in general. Like I feel like Americans, like North Americans, really romanticize it because we don't. Yeah, it's not really a culture of it here. We don't really have it. Like if somebody goes to boarding school, it's like, oh, fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
But then whenever I hear about it, I'm like, this sucks.
It sounds insane.
It sounds horrible.
Well, it's just like a prolonged evil summer camp with school.
Yeah, so your parents don't have to raise you.
Yeah, truly.
It's kind of fucking crazy.
No, it's nuts.
So she would get in trouble all the time. One of the detentions at the school was like trimming the flowers in the flower beds, but she enjoyed doing that. She liked domestic chores. Like she really liked cooking and tending to gardens and kids and stuff like that. She was a lady.
She was a lady.
And she also felt very much like an outsider in her family. And she was known to be very like extroverted around people that she was close to, but very shy when she didn't know people.
Okay.
And she apparently had a lovely singing voice, and they tried to get her to audition for the choir, but she couldn't. She was too afraid to audition for the choir. Wanted to be a ballerina, but she was too tall to be a ballerina, which what is that experience like? Whenever anybody's too tall for anything, it's like foreign to me because I'm 5'1".
I feel this way because I'm just at the cutoff to be like a mascot.
And that's tough.
And so
You're too tall to be a mascot?
I'm almost too tall to be like some of the mascots. Not all of them, but like I don't know if I could be like Dora the Explorer. I'm just really worried because I never want to apply and then be rejected and then know that about myself. Like I like to hold it.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but if you never ask, you'll never have to know.
Jury's out on my height. No, there's a lot of debate about what height I am.
It's constantly changing.
It's constantly changing. While I tell people, they say you're lying.
So she loved to dive and swim and shit. Okay.
Okay, huge.
She could dive
So
into water without making a splash.
Whoa.
I know.
That's really
It's
impressive.
insane, right?
My dad was always on me being like, you should be able to dive without a splash. And I was like, I don't know
I don't care
what I'm doing.
I didn't learn to swim until I was like 10, so my parents
Really?
had bigger fish to fry. Yeah, a lot of things I didn't learn until much later because I was an incredibly anxious child. I didn't learn to ride my bike until like 11. I didn't learn to swim until I was like 10.
But you know what? Good for you for doing it.
Thank you.
I was an exceptional swimmer early on, and I kept getting moved up in my class.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's fine.
It's not a
It was
competition.
hard for me too in other ways.
You felt isolated from your peers.
I felt isolated from my peers because I was so good at swimming.
Yeah, and I felt isolated from my peers because whenever I went to summer camp, I had to have that little band on my arm that said I couldn't be allowed near the water. I fucking hate it.
There's got to be a better system than that.
I know.
Anything
Just
where you have
shaming
to
the
ban
scarlet
the child.
letter.
Sorry, I'm in charge of scarlet lettering the children that
and
can't swim today.
I would always be randomly friends with kids that just loved water sports, which is just not my
That's
vibe.
rude.
I know. All I ever wanted to do as a child, and even now, is like I want to like imagine play, and I want to read my book quietly or do a craft. Like I do not want to be in a canoe. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I like water now because it's socially acceptable to be around water as an adult and just lay around it and not have to like play in the water.
Yeah.
Because you get cold in the water.
Yeah. And I just say I feel that way about skiing and snowboarding. Whenever someone starts talking about skiing, I'm like, I shut down.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's simply not for me.
It doesn't sound like anything.
I went on a ski lift once and I didn't know how to dismount, so I just kept like
Ski
falling.
lifts are fucked. It's
really
fucked
scary.
that there's no training. Like you have to, I'm
No.
sorry, I get banned from the lake at camp, but anybody can get on a ski lift.
This is what I'm saying. Like, no one told me how to get off, so I just sort of like fling my body off.
Yeah, I remember,
And then, like-
so I remembering one time my mom fell off a ski lift.
How high up was she?
She was like 6 feet in the
Oh my God.
And me and my dad were behind her, and my sister was like 4 years old next to her, and my mom fell.
Oh my God.
So they had to be like, okay, Katie.
Was she okay?
Yeah, I guess.
Your poor sister.
And then we're like, we have to get up at the next one. And then my dad like cross-country skied to go get my mother. Ooh, it was really anxiety inducing at the time.
God, that's so scary.
But it was fun.
Oh my God.
It was because we like dropped down. Like, you know, when they have like stops in the middle of the ski lift, like if you're going on the top, there's middle. And she thought she was getting off and then she wasn't. So she put her skis down, but then basically had her ass like half off the seat, but didn't just like get off because my sister was on the ski lift.
She fell. Oh, that's really scary.
I should ask her if she remembers that.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, I hope she's all right.
So Diana loved being outside and loved animals. And this eventually helped her connect with the royal family because they're like weird outdoorsy people.
They love
as well.
horses.
Yeah, exactly.
Birds.
Diana had a guinea pig named Peanuts
Awesome.
that won awards at like the flower
Won
festival,
award.
like
You can-
guinea pig festival,
You
I
can put
guess.
guinea pig into a festival of awards.
Well, her family ran it for the
So
surrounding
she was
areas.
Nepo
Bit
guinea
rigged.
pig.
Nepo guinea pig.
They
for
rigged
sure.
it. They
Peanuts,
rigged it.
Peanuts isn't even that good of a guinea pig.
Penis isn't, he's like a mid-level guinea pig.
But it's because he's
best.
connected. It's all politics.
Yeah, and
It's
you know
studio
the best,
politics.
The best guinea pig can't afford to be in that competition.
Blair has these nasty chips that she said, I hate these. These are nasty. You might like them. And I do.
I don't know. I didn't purchase them. They kind of just appeared in my house.
Really?
Yeah, from the ferry. No, I don't know. Someone like brought them to a gathering at some point. Clearly, something about
Pride
chips
or something. We went to Pride.
Oh, we did go to Pride. We didn't even talk about that. Pride was so fun.
Sponsored by Bubbly.
I got questions being like, "Hey, did you guys do like a bubbly partnership?" And I was
No,
like,
I know.
"No,
I know.
we just had a lot of fun at the bubbly
It
booth.
looked like we...
It really looks like we were sponsored.
I know. We were joking because we were just like walking through like the fair and we were like, oh my God, at the Bubbly booth where they're giving away free bubbly sparkling waters. There was a DJ and we were like joking, being like, oh my God, thank God the
Bubbly DJ's here,
Bubbly DJ here.
and then the
Pride.
bubbly DJ actually
Fuck,
rocked.
Yes, there's this beautiful like queen on like stilts covered in silver who made her way through the crowd and then started teaching everybody a dance that was choreographed to Starships. Still unclear whether or not she worked there. Or...
I don't think she worked there. I think she was just passing through. I think the bubbly tent just had a magic to it.
Yeah, well, we kind of started the party there.
We kind of did. No one was dancing.
Nobody was dancing, and then we started
everyone was
dancing, and then everybody was dancing at the bubbly tent. And we all realized congruently that love is the answer.
Love is the answer. Yeah, before I was thinking love is not the answer.
You're thinking maybe war.
And then I
or
had
money,
and
capitalism.
I was thinking war, money, capitalism, and then I had a sip of my pineapple bubbly water and danced to Dancing Queen, the remix. And I was like, love is actually the answer.
I know. I posted on my Instagram story, like as a joke, obviously reshowing one of the videos, being like, thank you, Bubbly, for all you do for the queer community. But then people started liking it. And it was like people that I'm like, I don't know if you know this is a joke. And I felt really guilty because I'm like, oh, these people like just genuinely are like, you know, you ever wonder if you could like, I wish I could live in the world where like capitalist pride was still beautiful to me.
Yes.
My brain hasn't been rotted by like socialist
Yeah.
literature and I could just enjoy something for one fucking moment.
Yeah.
I don't want to like, I'm not going to yuck these people's yum. Like to them, they're like, yes, love is the answer.
Bubbly water
Sponsored
is
by
the
Bubbly.
answer. Sponsored by Bubbly is the answer.
So all that's to say, let's go back to Diana. But we did go to Pride.
But oh my God, I like that also you called Pride the fair at a moment there, and that was really beautiful. That was really
we were
beautiful.
at like the fair, the street fair part.
Yeah, the street fair.
So yeah, the last thing we talked about was Peanuts. Happy Pride to
Oh yeah,
Peanuts.
happy Pride to Peanuts.
You would
the
have loved
guinea
the
pig.
bubbly DJ.
You would have loved the bubbly DJ in
Toronto Pride. Yeah, that's all. That's now we're going into the teen years.
The teen years.
Okay.
Can I make a prediction?
Yes.
She's gonna be rebellious.
Ooh. Well, is your
No, I'm wrong.
listen, the thing is that we need to talk about is that Prince Charles, you should be in prison.
No.
They met when she was 16.
Ew, how old was he?
29.
No, what? No.
And he was dating your sister,
Oh,
who was 22.
wait, why did I not know that there was such a big age gap between them?
13 years.
How did I not know that?
I know.
That's crazy.
I knew it from The Crown, but yeah. Because he was like a bachelor and
God.
wasn't getting married. And this was still at the point where he had to be a virgin with no history and aristocrat
Oh my God.
to marry the king. So it was always going to be someone young, basically. It had to be.
Yikes. But he, I bet, wasn't a virgin.
No, of course not.
Ew. This is so
But he doesn't-
Bridgerton coded.
I know. But he doesn't know how to
Ugh.
fuck. So it's, you just look at him and you know.
No, for sure he does not know how to fuck.
I'm trying to think.
Pretty
who
sure
knows
he's
how to
sitting in
fuck.
there. He's like, oh, is that my penis?
You're like, yes, it's your penis.
Yes, it's your penis, Charles.
That's your penis. You know it's your penis.
You know it's your penis. Stop pretending like
I
you
think
don't know.
Harry would be actually good at sex.
Who?
Prince Harry.
Oh, Prince Harry. Yeah, Prince Harry.
I don't think Meghan would settle.
He's not Charles's son.
No,
either.
that's a Diana son right there.
Yeah, that's Diana's son, but also his father is not Charles.
You think it's
The other guy.
the stable guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I don't think.
He talks about it in the book. He addresses it in his book, being like, "It's not." Like, okay.
I should read that. I really want to read Spare.
I think I have a copy if you want to borrow it.
Brooke, at some point, my sister works at a bookstore, and she at one point was just like, we have so many copies of Spare. It's not even funny. And then she also, for some reason, was inundated with about 400 copies of Michelle Obama's book. I was like, what a job you must have.
I know. You're a bookseller, but mainly you're just hawking
Yeah.
celebrity memoirs.
Celebrity memoirs.
It's 1977. Okay.
Summer of Love.
Prince Charles is the world's most eligible bachelor.
No way.
He's
No
the most
way.
eligible bachelor. He is single, rich, and deeply inbred. Every girl's dream.
1977, and the hottest inbred bachelor is
He's looking for a wife.
He's looking for a wife, and he's looking at his penis, being like, "Oh, what's
that
that,
my penis?
Is that my penis?"
Yeah. He's looking for a queen, right? Because he gets to the point where it's like, because before he's dating around commoners, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
people who shouldn't have a right to live. Some might even argue.
No, they're
Good as
commoners. Common dirt.
Common dirt.
Common dirt.
But now he's like, okay, I'm getting 30. Surely I'm going to be king soon.
Surely I'm going to be king soon and not.
It's not going to be 60 years.
It's not going to be 60 years of helping mummy.
Fingers crossed that I don't immediately get cancer as soon as I become king.
Fingers crossed that mummy doesn't sit in the throne up until I'm an old man myself.
Yeah. Charles, spoiler alert, she's gonna.
Yeah.
Okay? So he's
rough
looking for
out
a
here.
queen, right? So there's like a lot more
Yeah.
different. It's the girl the girl you marry. You know what I mean? the girl you marry.
The girl you marry, not the girl you date. Her light
So-
is on. Her cab light is on. Sex in the
Exactly.
City.
I love that. That part of Sex in the City I think is so true.
It is true.
So if you
It
don't,
actually
if you're
is true.
You know, mind melted by seeing Sex in the City 900 times, like I have, the cab light metaphor is basically being like, they say it for men, but I actually think it's for everyone. where it's like people get married when their cab light is on. It's not about the right person. It's
Yeah.
almost always about the right time.
Absolutely.
Where it's like they're a cab and their light goes on, so they're ready for someone. And the next person that gets in that cab, they're going to marry, even if it's subconscious.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of thing. If it's not about you, it's quite literally where that person is at their time in life.
Well, because I feel like once you hit like mid to late 20s, every single person has a person they could point to and say, like, if the timing was different,
Yes.
I'd be with this person.
But it's timing.
Yeah.
It's all
I've
about
got about
timing.
4 or 5 of those people.
But that's just beautiful.
No, I've got 2. But I do
Ooh.
think.
I'm not going to guess.
I do think. I don't think you could guess, to be honest. It's no one you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have to scroll deep in your Instagram.
No, everything's deleted.
Oh, no. All that's to say, they need to be an aristocrat. They need to have minimal to no history and be a virgin. And they need to be somebody that can be our nation's queen.
Yes.
Okay?
And the Commonwealth as well.
Exactly. So it's 1977.
Summer of
He's
Love.
29. He
Led
goes on a
Zeppelin's
couple of dates.
dropping albums.
Left, right, and center.
Left, right, and center.
He's going on a date with Lady Sarah Spencer, Diana's older sister.
How are they dating at this time? Is this just like going out for dinner? Or are they like really courting? Like, do you know anything about this process from watching The Crown?
Well, I was looking about it in terms of Diana. So you just get, as soon as you're attached, this is the same thing with Harry and William and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you're attached to these men, like, the press come
Hounds
after
you, yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
So it is kind of like official courting, but at this point he's 29, he's not 32. So his light isn't on, so to speak. So he's looking at women, kind of like trying out women for the job of queen,
For
basically.
the job. Yeah, they're being interviewed functionally.
Exactly, because he can't be with Camilla, right? So
And he at this point has had a relationship
yeah,
with
let me go to the timeline. It's down later. Yes, so they dated in 1971, but they split within that time period.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She gets married in 1978 to Parker Bowles.
Okay.
So she's not married yet, but he's dating people now. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, like Lady Sarah Spencer and him, they go to a polo match and they're photographed at a polo match. And things are going well, but then they go skiing in some Swiss place. I don't know. It's the place where all the rich people go.
The Alps.
Yeah.
Back to the skiing, dude. The worst people ski.
And she says to the press, she tells a journalist that she wouldn't marry Charles if he were a dustman or the King of England. So they break up. And it's not because she says that it's because she has like lack of disclosure with the press or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. At one point during this like when they're like courting, he comes to pick her up at their home, Althorpe House, their other house. And this is when he meets 16-year-old Diana.
Okay.
He's 29. She's 16 when they meet.
Jail.
Jail. You're going to prison.
Prison. A cab except for jail for Charles.
One jail.
One jail.
One jail as a treat.
One jail is a treat.
And in their engagement interview, Charles says, I remember thinking what a very jolly and amusing and attractive 16-year-old she was. I mean, great fun, bouncy and full of life and everything.
I actually just got nauseous, like my nose filled up with water.
Isn't that disgusting? You admit that? You cannot torch that information out of me, and he's going on the BBC.
What a jolly and bouncy, attractive 16-year-old. I'm going to puke.
I know.
I already puked last night. I'm going to puke again.
I know. You puked last night?
Yeah, I ate a delicious pork adobo too fast.
Mm.
It was really good.
Yeah, that's tough.
Tita flips.
So Lord Mountbatten is like, he's one of Charles's closest confidants. He's an older man, but he's not, I don't know if he's royalty or if he's like heavily has aristocracy or whatever.
Well, Mountbatten is one of the family names.
Okay, so then he is. But he's not like in the immediate family, but he's like a cousin or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's an older guy and he's kind of like Charles's mentor, okay? And this guy loves boats. That's going to come back in later. Okay, so remember that he loves boats.
I'm kind of with him now because I also love boats.
Okay. But then once you hear the IRA's reasoning, you
probably not going to be with him for very long. I'm just trying to have some hope.
I wrote in sorry, that's sometimes you ever do something and you're like, actually that's pretty funny. That's this where I wrote, Charles is advised by Lord Mountbatten, whose credits include getting exploded by the IRA to marry a girl without a past.
And good for him.
And good for him.
You know what? Good way to go.
So Lord Mountbatten's like, marry a girl without a past so that past partners can't sell the story to the press. So she already has to be a virgin, has to be an aristocrat.
And she's also got to have no tea to give the press.
Exactly. Well, her partners can't kind of thing too, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like not even dating people really.
Yeah.
So then you got to go, okay, which teenagers are around me? Oh my God. Basically, right?
Okay.
Now back to Diana. She's out in the real world. She drops out of school at 16 when her O-level results, she fails her O-levels.
Oh.
Okay. And then she goes to finishing school in Switzerland at 17. I don't know what finishing school is.
Finishing school is where you learn to be like polite and when you learn like manners and stuff. Okay. My mom would always threaten to send me to finishing school. And now even she'll say like, I should have sent you to finishing school. It was like a big threat in my household growing up was like, if you don't take your elbows off the table, I'm sending you to finishing school.
That's crazy.
I can't believe it. Like whenever I don't realize that people don't know what finishing school is because it was #1 threat in my household that I was going to go to
military school for girls.
Military school
Boys
for
are
girls
soldiers, women are ladies.
to learn how to drink tea properly.
Yeah. I did etiquette classes, which is so funny. And I'm like, bitch,
that's
why?
Smart.
Etiquette classes, and we did like cotillion and stuff. And here's the thing. I hated every waking moment of it as a child. Hated it. But there is a power in now. I'm like, well, I know what fork to use.
Yes.
Like, I really do feel as though if I was at a fancy dinner, I could operate. I know all the etiquette.
That's good. That's smart.
You never separate the salt and pepper shaker. Mm-hmm. And when you're buttering a roll, you take the butter and you put it on your plate.
Yeah.
Before buttering. You don't just butter from the little dip to the roll.
Yeah.
These are things people don't know.
No, people don't know these very important things.
Exactly. So that's 1 year of that, Switzerland. Diana's learning how to butter her roll.
She's learning how to butter a roll, what fork to use.
And then she moves to London. Now, in the aristocracy, I had to kind of look this up and be like, what was she doing with her life?
And what was her plan?
Yes. And people were saying this on Reddit in a couple of different interviews, basically being like, when you're an aristocrat,
when you're
an aristocrat, there's no like expectation of getting a job, obviously, because you're just going to continually be wealthy off of the taxpayers' fucking teeth.
And it's kind of shameful to have a job because they bring this up in Bridgerton season 3.
They have just fake ass fucking jobs. Like it's like, oh, I bet now it's like I'm sitting on the board of the foundation or whatever, but it's like other stuff.
I run the guinea pig competition every year, so I deserve my payout.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. So you have fake stupid jobs, but you do have a job in the modern day because like. You have to capitalism. You have to.
That's why they all go into the military.
Yes,
because that's very like honorable.
Exactly, it's a job that rich people can have, and it's fine. So she moves to London, and the expectation is like you move to London when you graduate. Some people go to university, whatever, but it's just to like meet people, whatever the fuck that means.
Slay.
and give back to the community. So yeah, you can go to the army. Some people do like childcare stuff like that. Okay, and then you get married and you quit your job and you get married to someone rich. Okay.
Love.
So Diana growing up didn't know what she wanted to be. She wanted to be a ballerina, couldn't be a ballerina, was too tall. She thought maybe she'd be an ambassador's wife, which like, in a way.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. She moves to London into an $100,000 flat or pound flat that her mother bought for her for her 18th birthday.
And same.
Yeah, it's your 18th birthday.
That's also what I did.
It's your 18th birthday, baby.
18th birthday, I had me my $100,000 pound flat.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Still waiting
for my one. And that's in the 70s, right? So like.
So it's even more now.
It's more. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's so funny because people are like, her roommates. I'm like, she was a landlord.
Yeah, like what? She was collecting the check.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I know, exactly.
So she lived with 3 flatmates, loved living with the girls, loved living with her flatmates. And she would talk about like asking her friends. And I just fucking wish I lived in a house of 3 girls. And one came home and was like, I think the king is gonna ask me to marry him.
Yeah.
I would love that.
That'd be awesome.
I know. I'm not gonna pretend not to be privileged. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna pretend to be poor.
No one would buy it.
But I wish I was really rich. I'm like, if I'm gonna be privileged, like I wish I was the kind of rich person that frequented with like literally higher, like people who are like the tip of the top.
Oh yeah, like there's levels to wealth that I feel like we don't understand. Like it's just like a completely different type of society.
Like I don't even know where to meet them. You know what I mean? Because they're just not around where we're around.
I went to school with a girl who is technically a princess and honestly one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Well, yeah, she didn't have to struggle.
No. But like I feel like she technically has a title, but like her family for all intents and purposes is like very normal. Her dad works in like finance or something.
That's
like
cool.
They just kind of like still have these titles. But like I remember the day like we followed each other on Instagram. I was like, oh, so your life is so something. Like it doesn't even feel the same. Like, you know, when you follow
it's impossible to even imagine a world in which there's no expectation that you get a job.
Well, and it's
like
also
you don't have to make money to live.
You know, when you have like a rich friend and they do like rich people things, like they go on like vacation a lot. They go and like they buy like designer clothes items, like
or they go to Europe all the time. I'm like, where the fuck? And again, like I'm a YouTuber. Like, I'm like, why are we going to Europe?
But then there's a whole other class of rich where it's like aristocracy rich, where it's just like it doesn't even seem like they're spending money. They just exist within money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it's not the same. Like, they're like, they don't even necessarily really like travel all the time. They don't necessarily buy a ton of like designer expensive things. They just kind of have access to this stuff. Yeah, it's Saltburn.
It's crazy.
It's a completely different thing.
It's crazy. Anyways, she moves to London, $100,000 flat, flatmates,
Huge.
and she's working as a nanny for $5 an hour and part-time preschool teacher. Kind of the community giving back, all of that stuff. She loves kids. Okay,
That's cute.
so Diana, nannying for $5 an hour and part-time preschool teacher. Okay,
Wow.
She nannied for the Robert. Oh my God, I don't know why I couldn't say that. It's a really easy name. She nannied for the Robertsons.
No, that's hard.
Oh,
Jim. The cat just came out.
Blair's cat came out. This is my fourth time seeing her in person.
Okay, so Diana's nannying for $5 an hour.
Yes, she was by all accounts a phenomenal nanny.
Nice. I believe it.
Yes. And fun fact, Diana is the first royal bride to have a paying job.
That's awesome.
And
Kate, crazy.
Kate is the first royal bride to have a university degree.
Oh my God.
That's bad.
That's not great. Don't like love that vibe.
Okay, now we're into the dating Charles era. Jim is so close. I feel like I gotta do the cat thing of like, I gotta act like I'm really indifferent to her and then she'll come and
don't pay attention, then she'll come hang out with you.
Exactly. Okay, so November of 1973, Sarah and Diana are invited to Charles's 30th birthday at Buckingham Palace.
Oh, a hot 17-year-old excursion for Miss Diana.
She got her own invitation.
I wanna die.
He sent this 17-year-old an invitation to his 30th birthday party.
Terrifying. I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
I can't imagine. I'm turning 25. And
That'd be crazy.
And I would never invite a 17-year-old.
You were like, and by the way, I'm courting her.
Yeah, and it's not even like your sister. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like your ex's sister.
That's, if you were just like, Reese and I broken up. I've invited his teen brother to my birthday party.
That's insane.
No, horrifying. Horrifying.
It's crazy.
I hate it here. The story's so much worse than I thought it would be.
I know.
I thought, no, okay.
It's worth noting just in case, because I don't know if some people care about this, that Sarah and Diana are close and have like remained close.
Okay.
Like, she wasn't like feeling a type of way about it. Sarah was like, I don't want to be the Queen of England. Like, I'm not interested.
That's good. Okay. That actually does make me feel a lot better.
Yes, definitely. Right? Like, there's not like a weird kind of dynamic there.
Yeah.
Okay, so a year and a half later, in July of 1980, Charles and Diana are both invited to their friend Philip de Pass's family home in Sussex for like a weekend.
Okay.
Fancy rich people getaway. Okay.
Huge.
Charles' mental health is suffering at the time because of Lord Mountbatten's assassination. If you don't know, Lord Mountbatten was on a boat that was exploded by the IRA, the Irish Republican Army.
Good for them.
Honestly, it did some good work. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it sucks that somebody had to die, but it got their attention.
Yeah, it did what I think they set out to do.
Yeah.
Explode the boat and explode the royal on it.
And it's what I wrote here is, so Charles's mental health is suffering because of Lord Mountbatten's assassination. Weirdly, this all could have been avoided if England wasn't obsessed with colonizing Ireland. Like, just leave, bitch.
Just leave. Just leave.
If you're
It's
so
fine.
sad, you can just leave.
Yeah, just leave. Just leave Ireland.
Just leave.
Leave them alone.
What are you doing?
And you know that when 30-year-old men are having a mental health crisis, the only thing that can fix is a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, I think she's... Okay, so he just turned 30.
Mm-hmm.
And this is... Wait, I can do the math. 1978. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's not great.
Did the math. It's not great.
I think she's 18.
Yeah.
Great. No,
Barely
awesome.
legal.
Honestly, but really astute point, Blair, that when a man in his 30s is having a mental health crisis, he's finding the closest teenager
closest teen.
he can latch on to.
Just like, ooh, we're the teen.
Yeah, also, why the fuck are you, assumedly as a 30-year-old, inviting this 18-year-old on this fucking weekend trip?
Horrifying.
That's insane. That's some David Dobrik shit. Like, I'm sorry. That's disgusting.
David Dobrik.
I'm not letting him off the hook. Philip de Pass told Charles ahead of the weekend that Diana's young blood might amuse him, whatever that fucking means.
God, this is horrifying.
So Diana and Charles talk about Lord Mountbatten's death. She said at this time that he seemed really lonely and lost.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying like, oh, I feel so bad for you talking to him. And he leapt on her.
Okay. All right.
And the rest of the weekend, they spent all over each other. And she ended the weekend with an invitation up to London, which marked the beginning of their courtship.
Okay.
All right. So here's a quick rundown of the Charles and Camilla timeline. If you don't know about Diana,
you might not know about Camilla.
Exactly. So Camilla was basically Charles's first love, or maybe some say only love.
Only
I don't
love.
know. And they couldn't be together because she wasn't a virgin and she wasn't an aristocrat. She was a commoner. So they break up, but then they kind of like, they get back together. Like he wants to be with her, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a quick rundown of their timeline. So they dated in 1971, but they had to break up because she was a commoner.
Yeah.
And wasn't a virgin. And they, honestly, and girl, why are you not a virgin?
Ew.
They get along really well. She makes him laugh. She's really silly. She's not intimidated by him. Like, she really takes him to task, all these things. I will say, and I do not support cheating. I just think because there's a lot of positive Diana media out there, rightfully so, she's amazing. Okay? But I think Camilla is the victim of misogyny. Like,
Absolutely.
I do. So I just want to say, like, we're not anti-Camilla here.
Yeah. No.
It's not her fault.
No.
I mean,
like we were saying earlier, if she was hotter, the narrative would be so different. Yeah.
But she gets shafted, and it's because, and obviously this should not be happening over Charles of all people.
This is
but
the
Jesus.
thing. Like, good Lord.
I know. So this happens. Charles goes to the Caribbean to serve in the Navy, rich person job.
Rich person job.
And Camilla
Fake
gets
army.
engaged to Parker Bowles, a British Army officer. Okay. Charles tries to stop the wedding and sends her distraught letters, being like, but things are working out so well now, because I bet they're like still hooking up. Like,
Yeah,
right
for
now,
sure.
Friendship,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, but things are so great right now.
Yeah, there's
Why do we
working
have
out
to
so
think that?
well.
Why
Look
do
at
we
this.
think-
I have this cover. I have this cover. Look at this.
Yeah. And this is before he's with
Diana.
Yes.
Okay.
So he tries to stop the wedding. Tries to get her to stop getting married. And she's like, well,
He's down bad.
no, I know. He has it really bad for her, which is, again, the thing of like, this would be a different story.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
had long blonde hair.
She had long blonde hair.
From 1978 to 1979, Camilla and Charles have an affair with, like, while Camilla's husband knows. Like, Charles isn't with Diana.
Yeah.
But Camilla's husband knows he has his own affairs, and he doesn't say anything. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Or, like, he does. I don't know if he doesn't care or not, but, like, he doesn't stop it from happening.
Yeah.
Some people say, like, oh, he probably even liked it, like, if she's gonna have an affair.
Yeah.
Have an affair with the king of England, like the future king of England,
I mean,
kind of
fair.
thing. Yeah. Yeah, they're not having an affair when Charles starts dating Diana, but Camilla, even when they weren't actively having an affair, remained quite close with him. They were always like kind of friends, friendly, flirty vibes. It's very much your boyfriend's girl best friend.
Yes.
And you're like, bitch, why are you here?
Yeah. Don't worry about her.
Yeah.
Don't worry about her.
Yeah, no, we're just friends.
Yeah, we're just friends. Don't worry about her.
Don't worry about
Don't
her.
worry about her.
And during the like engagement and stuff, Diana stayed with the Parker Bowles and was confused why Camilla was giving her so much like royal advice. And I don't know. She just said that. She was like, I was just confused, but then I figured it out eventually. But doesn't like go in on that. And I'm like, girl,
It's like, okay.
I need.
I feel like
my
she
take
must
is-
have known.
Yes, my take is either being like, okay, she's in love with him, or like, oh, she wants to like be queen, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she kind of like knows like, okay, like she wants this in some capacity, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or the kind of thing of being like, I don't know, but there is obviously like a pervasive feeling of being like, just let him,
Yes. Just let it happen.
which is horrific.
Just let it happen.
So they don't restart their affair again until 1986. So that's the next episode,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because we're in
Whoa.
1980 right now, September 1980. Okay.
Wow.
So Diana and Charles begin courting. She gets an invitation to Balmoral. Okay.
Okay.
The royal family's private estate in the Scottish Highlands. It's like their vacation home.
Okay.
And they're fucked in the head because they're inbred and they love like outdoor active vacation. Like
Insane.
crazy people.
Insane.
They're like, we're going to ride horses. We're going to get up at 5 a.m. and go hunting. We're going to do
No,
this.
vacations.
Insane.
Vacations are for sitting down.
It's crazy to me that you
Horrifying.
can colonize the whole fucking world. You have so much money and your
Yeah.
vacation isn't on any of the beaches you own.
No, it's great. It's like, let's go hunting.
That's crazy.
Let's kill
to me.
animals and ride horses. Ugh.
Where-
Disgusting.
You can't, pool.
Dude, the monarchy, dude.
I would have a pool.
Pool. I would go to the pool.
I would make a pool in Buckingham Palace.
I
if
would
this was
go
me.
to the infinity pool.
Yeah, I'd be like, we're having an infinity. Can we
We're
go
going
to,
to the infinity pool.
please, let's go to the infinity
We're going
pool
to
with a
the
swim up
infinity
bar.
pool. We're going to a swim bar. Disgusting.
Insane to me. Okay.
Disgusting.
But if you recall, Diana's not only raised in the country, Norfolk, loves outdoor, like is an active girl herself.
Ugh.
I'd be fucked. I'd sleep until noon. Queen
be
would
done.
hate me.
I'd be done. Queen would hate me.
Exactly. I'd be drunk because I'm like, it's vacation. Right? Because like it's vacation.
It's simply vacation.
I'm like, you guys want to play Farkle?
What the fuck is Farkle?
It's a dice game.
No,
Guys
I
wanna
don't want to play
play-
Farkle.
What, you guys want to play bullshit? I'm just trying to play games and get drunk and go
wanna
to the
play
water.
bocce ball.
Where's the pool?
Where's the pool? Where's the pool? Where's the
All
watch
right,
ball?
I got my suit on. Where's the pool?
Where's the pool?
They're like, there's no pool. We just shoot deer and stuff. I'm like, I hate it here. I want to go home. But the royal family have what they call the Balmoral test, which is basically just like a vibe check. Can you hang with us?
Okay, yeah.
And I can imagine this is because of dated gender stereotypes of being like aristocratic girls like aren't down and dirty. Like they got to be able to like hang out with the family.
This
and
is
the
like
royal family,
when they play the game in Bridgerton, when Kate and her sister go and they play the
not tennis. What do they play in
I
Heathers?
always called it croquet, but they called it something else.
But it's croquet.
Yeah, it's croquet.
Yes, it's exactly that. And it's also like the royal family is like quite famously a very insular group. That's why Prince Philip and Diana always got along, because like if you're like an outsider in the group, you know what I mean? Like it's very much giving like, oh, here comes pineapple. Like you're friends with inside jokes and you're like, girl, like, I'm here. I'm here.
Let's relax.
Yes. So it's a test she passes with flying colors, goes on like the elk hunt, she slays it. She kills it. Okay?
Huge.
At the end of the strip, the paparazzi photographs her at Balmoral, and this relationship is like formally outed, basically, to the public.
Okay.
And they're also like, she's at Balmoral?
She's at Balmoral. She's getting Balmoral tested. She's already on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. So after this, more than 30 cameras are outside of her apartment every day.
Oh my God. I die.
I know.
Not in front of the flat with 3 girls.
No, I know. Imagine they're like, oh, and then they're like, oh, never mind, it's just Blair. Can you imagine that?
I like that you're Diana.
No, I'm saying that.
Oh no, we're like her roommates. We're her roommates.
Like, oh, it's the other one.
That would kill
Carley.
me. That would kill me.
Insane.
Yawn.
Yes.
That's nuts.
And it's really interesting reading about Diana, and we'll get more into that when she's properly married. But like you hear all of these cases of women that are very bad with the media.
Yeah.
And have really horrible media coverage, but Diana kills it top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like Diana mania happens, basically.
Yeah.
Like when she gets married to Charles sends like one of the like royal like dating whatever correspondence, a letter after he's like, congratulations on your engagement, Charles. Charles was like, thanks. Hopefully your job doesn't become redundant. Ha ha ha. Because like I'm married or whatever.
Oh my God.
But it didn't, because like people were obsessed with Diana.
Yeah.
Like she was people's princess basically from the start. She's very like shy. I mean, we know Diana, right? Like she's very shy and listens.
She's a girl.
She's a girl. She's got amazing outfits, but she's good with kids. Like it's very interesting where it's like not only does she kind of fall into this idea of like the ideal woman that satiates like traditionalists and men and things like that, but then she's also like loves fashion and like music and stuff, and we're like, oh, we love her.
We love her.
So it's really interesting.
She
really is,
princess.
and she's just like immediately, even like, imagine you are like seeing a guy, right, and then you go outside and the paparazzi's like, hey Blair, like when is he going to propose?
Be like, I don't know.
I don't know. And he's like, okay, because he told us we should be keeping our eyes open soon.
Oh my God.
Cool. And like she's spotted like crying at the wheel of her car because they like chase her down and stuff like that.
That's horrifying.
But she kills it every single time. They love her. And she's very much like, I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to say anything. Because if you also recall with her sister, you don't disclose to the press. Okay. She's still working for the Robertsons at this time. Really can't say Robertsons for some reason.
Weird.
It's
Robertsons.
So she's still nannying like at this time when she's dating Charles.
That's
and has
crazy.
to call in sick sometimes, be like, I can't leave my apartment because the paparazzi's too crazy and
Oh
stuff.
my God.
But the family's like very understanding, all of these things. Okay. On February 6th, 1981, Charles proposes to Diana at Windsor Castle. She thinks he's joking. Says yes, but it's like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, no, like for real. And she's like, oh yeah. And he says like, you realize you're going to be queen, don't you? And in her head, she says, like in later interviews, being like, there's a voice in her head that was like, you're not going to be queen, but you're going to have a very tough job or whatever.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
Charles proposes to Diana because Prince Philip, who loves Diana, especially because they bonded as being outsiders and stuff, said like, you either have to propose to her or you have to break up with her because you're allowing her reputation to be dragged out in front of the British media, which is very rabid, like not really like what we have here even, like they're so intense and crazy. Yeah. Which we saw with like Meghan and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Too. Like, they're very
nuts.
invasive. Yeah.
And they're just like openly very like classist.
They're like, it's funny
like,
that we're classist and xenophobic. It's actually really funny that we are.
Yeah. It's funny, silly.
It's silly.
It's funny,
so
silly.
Like, you
Everyone's
have to
fun.
break up with her if you're not going to marry her.
Yeah.
Because her reputation is going to be dragged out, right?
Yeah.
They're going to get interviews from random like teachers and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Weird shit. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that happens. After the announcement of the engagement, she moves into Clarence's house at Buckingham Palace. Yeah. Because the attention is too much. Like it just goes crazy. Diana mania starts. Yeah. Okay.
She hides away.
Exactly. On February 24th, 1981, Diana and Charles give the famous engagement interview on the BBC. Wow. She's wearing that iconic little blue suit with the little tie.
Yes. Oh, iconic.
And the last thing I'll leave you with here is when they were asked in this interview if they were in love, Diana said, of course. And Charles says, whatever in love means.
Oh,
she's 19,
God.
He's 32, by the way.
Oh, my God. Wow.
So yeah, next episode we'll go over the course of her like tenure as the Princess of Wales.
I'm so excited. I'm so much more. Honestly, I was excited to do this, but now I'm like invested.
You're in on the lore. Yeah.
I'm like in. I'm so in, dude. It's not even funny.
Exactly. Okay.
Wow.
Shall we?
Let's freaking go.
Let's make this tragedy about us. This is the section of the podcast where we take this horrible tragedy, Diana's death, and we make it about us because we're podcasters and that's what we want to do.
Yeah, exactly. We have to make it about us because or else we'll be so tired.
Blair, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How would the Balmoral test go for you?
Honestly, amazing. I'm so good at hanging. I gotta be honest. I'm so good at hanging.
You are good at hanging.
And I've said this. I'm really good with like old school rich people. I'm not very good with rich people like influencer vibes.
Okay.
But like people who have been rich forever love me.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
There's something about you.
I think there's something, I don't know what it is, but like I understand what they're up to.
Yep.
I struggle more with influencers that are like want to go to this party. I struggle with that type of rich.
Yeah.
I struggle with suburban rich.
Yes, definitely.
Old money rich, I like. I
handle.
can hang. I feel like I appreciate a whiskey.
Yep.
I appreciate like a lawn sport.
Yep.
I think I'd kill.
Okay, I love that.
What about you?
It could go one of two ways. It's either going really well or really, really bad. I do think, generally speaking, I'm great with parents.
Yes.
I'm just very good with parents and siblings.
Yeah.
Like, I can really live there.
Yes.
Fathers love me because I have a basic understanding of classic rock.
Yeah, and that's all you need.
It's really all you need. Just be like Pink Floyd, crazy, right? And then they
Isn't
love
Pink Floyd a band? They're like,
whoa! Really good at hanging with siblings. Like, I can do the family element of this.
Yeah.
So I could really do the hanging part of it. Like, that part I can get. I hate vacations that are active vacations.
Oh.
And I also am quite introverted and need alone time. You know this from traveling to Salem with me. I'm like, I need to just kind of sit
like alone
alone
time?
for a second. So I think I would definitely struggle. I think the second they're like, let's wake up. I'm also a vegan or at least vegetarian. And the second
you would not be eating the mutton.
That's what I'm saying. The second an elk hunt is on the table, I'm going, why? Why the fuck would we do that?
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, let's watch a movie.
Let's watch a movie.
But I think Philip would like me. I mean, I
think
would
Philip
probably
would
also
like you.
do fine just because.
Also because he's Greek.
Yeah, and Greek people love me. Yeah, like it'd be fine, but I do think the other parts would be bad. I think that literally any part of being a princess that's actually hard would be bad. I don't do very well with being told what to do.
Yes.
And the second that they'd be like, well, you have to do this. You have to quit your job or whatever. I'd be like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Or if they're like, are you a virgin? I'd be like, fuck off.
Like, why do you need to know that?
Yeah, or like if I was like dating, I guess in this scenario, I'm dating Andrew, other pedophile in the family. But you know what I mean? Like if I was at Balmoral while this is happening, I would just make constant comments being like, it's really crazy that you're 32 and she's 19.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that you're 32 and she's 19? Fresh 19.
Just turned 19.
19.
Yeah.
So I can make the vibe bad.
Yikes.
All right.
Well,
on that note.
then and we're so excited for the mini series of Diana.
Yeah,
baby. So happy you're all here.
Yeah.
Love you so much.
We'll see you soon.
Join the Patreon if you want to. Follow the Instagram.
Yeah, we're getting demonetized on YouTube. It's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
That goes all the way to the top.
Yeah.
So going forward, our YouTube videos are going to be
super
censored.
Clean. Yeah.
But if you want the full nasty version, it'll be on Patreon and it'll be the audio version will always be nasty.
We're not about to paywall anything that
Swear words.
that our hand is enforced to paywall.
YouTube.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. YouTube.
Mr. and Mr. YouTube, this is for you.
Mr. and Mr. YouTube, they're a gay couple.
Yeah, gay people can do bad things too.
Yeah, gay people can do bad things too. That's actually true acceptance.
Exactly. All right. We'll see you next week.
Okay, love you so much. Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.